Hello and welcome to our Week 6 recap for the Division 6C and 6D. Here with me is...
Swaho as always.
And Organized Crisis for today only.
Well, thank you very much for being here. And
Yeah.
shall we get going?
Yeah, let's start with him.
Let's have a look. He did play this week against the Pemberford Parakeets and he managed to get a draw.
Yeah, well played, I guess. Seeing as that Parakeets actually have a great team, and you don't.
Well, I was about to win the game. He scored his touchdown on turn 16 with a 4+ pickup and then 2+ going for it to do it. So it was
With what?
with the Bull Centaur.
Oh, nice.
So that was a little bit sad, but still it was an amazing game. And I talked with Anderson on voice during the game, and we both enjoyed the game a lot. So it doesn't really matter that I didn't win or anything, because at this point I don't care how many games I win. I just hopefully I manage to earn some money to kind of fix my team. But yeah.
Yeah, you're on 60k. You can't even get a lineman, I think.
I could buy a lineman, but
Oh, yeah. But like,
the first priority
even
is
if you buy it, you have no space for it.
First priority is to replace the armor value 8 blitzer, and then replace the goblin, and then replace the troll, and then replace the black orc.
No, you can also like level up the blitzer next game. Like, give it your all just to level him up. And if he does level, look at what he gets. Let's say if he gets, I don't know, a normal roll, you could get actually sure hands on him and kick the thrower. Seeing as that this guy's basically like a faster, stronger thrower. And you don't need to sack him, and then you can focus on something else with your money. Like replacing the agility one isn't that priority, but if you want even the goblin isn't that big of a priority, but I'd start like raking up those linemen, because you have nobody for lino duty.
Yeah.
So you're putting black orcs on the line and they're losing stats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'd do.
I might also get the reroll before I do any of the big replacements.
The reroll?
Because he's still only at 2 rerolls, and you do want the third reroll.
Well, yeah, but he has so much block at the moment that really rerolls aren't his priority, I'd say.
That's the thing. The games I've played, like the last 2 or 3 games, I don't feel like rerolls are that important for me.
And you have built-in rerolls with dodge, and like if that guy gets sure hands, then he has a built-in reroll, and like you already have sure hands and you have pass, but you're not going to pass, I guess.
Hey.
Because why
he
not?
has done tons of passes.
How many?
He have done
well,
5 successful passes.
So he has an MVP on passes. Okay.
And
yeah.
I need to remind you that 3 of those passes were 4+ or 5+.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, that's the orc passing game, I guess.
Yeah.
It's
not good, but it's fun.
What's the percentage for the goblin to land?
It's a 3+ now.
It's a 3.
It's usually a 4+, but it's a 3+.
That could also be like a target for you, to look to level up. I mean, like, he is armor busted, and he's basically bloating you up a lot, seeing as he's double his cost, right?
Yeah, but the thing is that if he levels up again before I'm able to fire him, and if he gets block, if I roll double and I can give him block, then the armor value 6 isn't that big of a deal, because then he has blodge. And
Yeah,
that helps a little bit at least.
yeah. If he doesn't get block, he should get catch, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Seeing as that he is there to be handed off to, and then the troll just throws him.
Yeah.
If only the troll could get SPP for passing the goblin.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it work ever?
I don't think I've scored any touchdowns with this orc team that way, but another orc team that I have, which I play in another league, I've scored 2 or 3 throw goblin touchdowns, like one trimmers. So it works, but it doesn't work often. But it's really fun when it works. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, at least it works sometimes. So, how did your match? You won, and like you're facing the Highland Avengers next. So again versus Chaos Dwarfs.
I'm happy with it because I felt like my team could handle the Chaos Dwarfs in a blocking matchup at least.
Well,
easily,
this time
so-
you're facing Claw.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I'm scared of. But other than that, I think I had 76 blocks succeeded last match, if I'm not mistaken. It was just a ton.
Well, let's look at McNaughton then, seeing as if we're on your next match. So McNaughton has leveled up a Bull Centaur, probably break tackle on normals and dodge on doubles. What do you think?
No, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, like, they're linear.
Yeah. One thing I'm really happy about is that none of his hobgoblins had leveled up, so he doesn't have any sure hands there. So that's one way for me to
Yeah, if you
force
like,
him to spend some rerolls on that.
yeah, if you focus down on the hobgoblins, he loses a lot of agility because
Yeah.
that's basically his whole agility, and then he relies everything to be on a 50-50 or a 75-25, but most of the time I guess 50-50 with the ball handling, and in case he does actually go for passing for some reason, I mean, he should pass with the incredible Nessie, to be honest. Seeing
Nah.
he's on 5 SPP, so if Organized Crisis scores on McNaughton should actually look for like a vanity pass at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, but only if it's like the last turn of the half, because
Yeah, I mean like vanity pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also like 3 dudes are on 5 SPP, and those dudes are just going to hunt for your lower armored players and your goblin especially, because they have tackle and they have block, so basically nothing the goblin can do works for you.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a good team. He has Claw and he has a level 2 bull.
Yeah.
Well, he will have a level 3 bull once he leveled.
Yeah, level 3. Well, yeah. I mean, he's in a good position. Like,
Yeah,
he's stabilized. He's 2-2-2.
Yeah, he can also get his last blocker back, so he will have a full lineup again.
He should get him back. It's just like really necessary for the team, especially versus a dodge blitzer on the York team. Like, all the tackle helps. Let's see who he faced. He won his match versus Herringsword, although we said that Herringsword would win. But yeah, 2-0.
Yeah, basically, I watched his game on YouTube, and what happened was the Highland Avengers maybe, let's say, got a bit lucky on the KOs and
Uh-huh.
had four guys of a herring sword knocked out at halftime, and not a single one came back. And I think the knocked out players included Tomb Guardian and his two Blitzers. So herring sword just didn't have most
I
of
see
his good
that he had.
players
I
for.
see that he had inflicted 6 KOs, a casualty, and a kill as well.
Yeah,
Who died?
I think it was just a skeleton, and herring sword killed Loner Hobgoblin.
Dwarf Clocker, I'm
Killed.
guessing,
Could also be. I think they both killed. I'm not
because
sure.
it's lacking a Dwarf Clocker. That would be logical.
I think that he was lacking him for a while, but I'm not sure.
Oh,
But anyways, like yeah, that was a really bashy matchup. So the Highland Avengers won their game versus United Scarab Emirates, and like we can transition to the Emirates now, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
So Herringzord coming off with a loss. He is currently 3-2-1. This is his first loss. So good job, McNaughton. And Herringsword still does have a scary team, even though he did lose.
Yeah, and he now has his Tomb Guardian back. I think he was missing next game for the last game.
Yeah.
And should also be of note, I think there was a Tomb Guardian in the game against McNaughton, and he did like I think 2 or 3 dodges to get on the ball carrier.
Nice.
It was quite impressive.
That's an MVP there. Although it did go to the Blitzerow. But no crying over spilled milk for Herringshorn. Seeing as that he will be taking this team into next week. By the way, somebody rolled a week. No, they didn't. So he will be taking it versus Weird Witchcraft next week. So he will have quite a match, but he is equipped with tackle.
Yeah.
He could kill Bunny.
I think everyone wants to kill Fluffy Bunny.
yeah.
Yeah, and nobody is like everybody's focused on Fluffy Bunny, but nobody's focused on Thalor Swift.
Yeah, Fallout Wisp has 40 SPP now. He's looking
Yeah.
great. And considering he was knocked out for most of the last game, he will be out for blood.
Yeah, he will definitely be out for blood. So I guess that like he will be looking to kill Yasinite's Yacinda's team, whatever. And especially Fluffy Bunny, who is 3 SPP away from a level up. So, Weird Witchcraft this week, losing their game to what the hell was this week? They lost their game to Revenge of Power Up.
Yeah,
Thoughts on that?
well, certainly unexpected. But I think I also watched a bit of that game, and Radstar already had the chance to score through a pushing play on the first half, made it successfully, I think 2 or 3 chain pushes, and then ended up tripwiring. Or maybe he failed the last dodge, I'm not sure. But he maybe should have been up 1-0, and I think then he just got the win anyway in the second half.
So classic Radstar, right?
Yeah, I think he even managed to successfully pass 1 or 2 times.
Wow.
Even making it even better. So,
Yeah,
he has a lot of opportunities to level up. Like he can level up Fluffy Bunny. He can level up Conjured Rose. He could level up Fake Volunteer. A lot of good targets for both MVPs and touchdowns. So yeah, his team is really well set. He has a level on Mentalist, sidestep, diving, tackle. All good choices.
Yeah,
Guard.
his team is looking great.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with a single skill choice. He also has a plus strength blitzer, which is great. He has both of his witches. He has plenty of cash in the bank. He's really looking great.
Yeah, he is. And that's scary for this division. So yeah, he lost to Revenge of Power Up. So should we see how Rasta did it?
Yeah, I think what Radsta did was roll a lot of powers against all those blotch pieces.
Yeah, and even he doesn't actually have a lot of blotch pieces. Like he has like 5, right?
Yeah, that's still quite a lot for this early in the development if you're not playing Amazons.
Well, like you can have 6 and be at 1200 TV.
Yeah, sure, but
all of his TV is actually in strength. Like the strength piece is absolutely brutal, and guard and mighty, and he does have a mighty blow. Yeah, but like still, he has a lot of team value invested in those. What is it? 3 players. While the others are kind of stagnating, if you ask me.
yeah, well, all of his linemen could level in the next game with either a score or an MVP. The last blitzer is also just an MVP away from leveling. I think he does have some decent spread in development. He can also get his second witch leveled. He just needs to not lose all his players in his games.
Yeah, and he's 402. This is his second week that he's lost.
Yeah, the first one was against Kiji, where Kiji basically pitch cleared the elves.
Yeah. Yeah, he pitch cleared them good. Last week he actually won 3-0 versus you, Organized Crisis. What do you think about that? Like, what was the match?
No, he dominated. There was basically nothing I could do. There's, you can't do much against dodging out, basically, when you don't have any tackle.
Yeah, without tackle, it's tough to get those blotch pieces down.
Yeah.
That's especially where you would want to have at least the 3 rerolls to maybe be able to greed that reroll to get a ball carrier down or something. But if you are low on the rerolls too, there's little you can do against those pieces.
Yeah. And when I don't have enough mighty blow either, so it's hard to like injure players to at least get an advantage in numbers. But
he does have
to do that either, so.
He does have a decent amount of dodge, yeah, for sure. But another player that has a decent amount of dodge, at least for his team, is Rasta, and he won that match. And he's raking up these agility chaos that he said. So basically, he's making a Slanesh team, but I'm not going to say anything about that. So yeah, 2 SPP away from leveling up Metal. He leveled up Squiggy, so that he has Blodge, and Pagors is really close to leveling up as well. He needs an MVP and an MVP, a touchdown, and a pass, whatever. Just level up.
Do you know what the best thing was about him winning the game?
What?
Remulgor survived, and there's still a player I can successfully pronounce, at least. Somewhat.
Yeah. He actually... Wait, did he ask? I believe he did.
Or I think he didn't realize when he was buying the Beastman that he didn't name him And
Yeah, and if he could get a refund, that was the best part. But now he has 12. Now he has 120k. So yeah, he could actually just drop the unnamed Beastman, and he could like give him the Aidham Digger then Rimugolor is his name if he wants to.
Please don't.
yeah, I'm just not gonna try that name.
Yeah, elves have beautiful names, certainly. But like, yeah, it is an elfy team. Even though it's chaos, not a single mighty blow. Agility 4 on a team that has a strength 4 player that's kind of breaking the rules. And yeah, his team is just really, really, really doing well at the moment. And he is 3-1-2, and he might, I add, he could have been 3-2-1, so he would be at the same stat line, at the same score as Herringzord, right? But
Yeah, I
he
believe.
lost to goblins.
Yeah, well, stuff like that happens.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
Uh,
we blamed him enough for the loss against the goblins. I
yeah,
mean,
that's true.
I'm still a little surprised he managed to level his dodge Chaos Warrior fairly fast. Now he has Blotch and is overall a much better player. And yeah, his team is also in a decent position. It's interesting to see this build, especially if you compare it, for example, to Jimmy's build, where I think he's trying to get Mighty Blow on every player, and we don't have a single Mighty Blow here.
Yeah, they're complete opposites, and I really hope that if there is a playoff or something for these two, I hope that these two face off.
Well,
That would be awesome.
I'm probably not gonna bet on Rodster to make it to the playoffs in this division, but I mean,
You never know. You never know. He's in the top, what, 4, right?
yeah, but
He's
I probably
fifth at the
still
moment.
wouldn't bet on him. It's against nothing against the coach. I just
Nothing
don't
against
think he has the development yet to compete with KG or well, he did
Well,
win against Yasinde, but I don't think he can do that consistently enough to get enough wins to end up on the top spot because only the top spot will get to players.
yeah, but it's still a lot of weeks, and he could continue winning. But we'll have to see that because his next match is versus Angels of Lilith, who have 2 level ups and have dropped in team value by quite a lot, and are 10k away from that 4th reroll, that soft point for vampires.
Yeah, well, the worst thing for uh, Andy 90 is that his Mighty Blow Vamp got niggled.
Yep, Donkey Dragon really has something cut out for him.
Yeah, I think he also already mentioned that he's probably gonna reroll the team after the season.
Probably. Seeing as that, like, Vamp got niggled and he's, like, in a position that, like, nobody's really getting levels, and he's dropping team value fast.
Yeah, he's running out of thralls if he wants to get rerolls because thralls tend to
Yeah,
get injured.
yeah, that's true. But he does have three level ups on vampires, and I'd actually even like if he does win his match against Revenge of Power Up, he could actually just look at how the game after that goes, and Who knows? Maybe even keep the team. Depends on these level ups, actually.
Yeah, and it also depends on if he likes playing vampires, because vampires are certainly not many coaches' playstyle.
Favorite. Yeah, that's true. You have to have like a certain playstyle to play them, and you have to know how to manage rerolls and stuff. But like, they are getting to a decent point, to be honest. And yeah, um, he is actually doing quite well with 2, 1, and 3, seeing that he is vampires. That is actually quite well.
Yeah, his scores aren't that bad, but I'm interested in how would you level those vampires?
I give them all block, especially the mighty blow one.
Yeah, well, he has time to make that decision because that one won't play.
Yeah,
What would you do, Crisis?
Um, on regular rules, I would give them all uh, block and then bludge.
Yeah,
Bludge vampires. That's what I would do. I have never played vampires in like online. I've only tested them against AI, so I really can't say anything about them, to be honest.
yeah. I also think you would just ignore a double roll because you don't really want any passing skills on those vampires.
Yeah.
And even with stat ups can be a bit tricky because you do need skills on those vampires and they do have a pretty amazing stat line already. And if you go for the stat ups, you can't pick up the skill, and
Yeah, but still,
it might
movement
be a
would be
tough
nice, I
choice,
think.
is what I'm saying.
Movement would be nice, I think. Because 4 agility and movement 6 is kind of, in my opinion, is kind of meh. But once you get movement 7, then suddenly it's way easier to get in good scoring positions.
Well, we will find out next week what he picked for his level ups.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to, let's say, Toast Guys
uh,
Goblins?
okay. Yeah. Also, if I can add, Donkey Dragon lost this week's game to back to square one. Just
Yeah.
because I don't believe that we even said that. But yeah,
Well,
Toast
let's go
Guy.
over that when we go over Pyro TJ. So let's focus now on Toast Guy.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention it because we were on Andy. So yeah. Okay.
I'm
Pyro.
sorry if we let you down, Donkey Dragon, but we
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we'll talk about how you lost to Wood Elves after you said that you'd beat them later on.
I mean, who wouldn't want to look at a Goblin team which is currently in, well,
Yeah,
in eighth place, but one win, 2 draws, and 3 losses is still
yeah,
not that bad.
and
And
he didn't manage to follow the formula how to beat Keji, but he did score on him, and he did get a level up on the troll. So now he has Garab.
I think he also managed to level up the Agility Goblin and decided to go for Sure Feet.
Yeah, sure feet are actually quite nice. Yeah, he basically with sure feet, it's even safer for him to do that one turn touchdown attempt that goblins tend to like to attempt.
But I would probably still keep the Agility Goblin in the back to throw the pass, but if it's a deep kick, you still can use the Sure Feet for a
But
better.
the problem is that he can't
Ah,
pass.
yeah, he can pass, so he needs to reach the guy who
Yeah,
will be thrown for the handoff. So Sure Feet could really be useful. But
yeah.
then maybe I would consider going for where you can do 3 GFIs because
Sprint?
you rather need the range than the
Secure.
security because you can still spend a reroll on the security because you at least don't need it for the catch on the goblin.
Hmm.
And I'd rather have the additional range than the security.
Yeah, that's true as well.
But it's only for the one-turn touchdown, so for the
Yeah.
normal gameplay, it probably
He
will be
can
more useful.
he can also move the troll like a step further, and then with that get that extra one as well. That's also true. But like, yeah, a lot of his players are actually still really, really close to level up. Both the chainsaw and the ballin.
The Fnatic.
Yeah, the fanatic and the loony both can get level ups, and same goes for the troll, and same goes for a few goblins.
If he rolls double on the Fnatic and gets a block, oh my god, that's annoying to play against.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's the dream.
Yeah.
but especially like looking at other teams, uh, they're all about 300 TV up.
Mhm.
And the only ones that are close are actually Donkey Dragon and Norton. So yeah, he is entering basically every game with 3 bribes.
Yeah, because he played Donkey Dragon and McNorton already, so.
Yeah. So
Well,
that
but he
yeah,
might face them against in the Swiss, but.
yeah, you never know. But still, uh, you have to notice that when you're playing anyone in this division, if they're playing against Toast Guy, and Toast Guy needs to understand that, like, he basically has 3 bribes going into every game, and he could actually get a wizard in some cases as well.
Yeah.
One thing that I find interesting with this team is that there are no disco stick or pogo goblin.
Wait, what I do want to mention is their last game. They did lose against Keiji, and as I predicted, the 2 goblins died in that game. I just want to pat myself on the back for that prediction. Well,
Well, yeah, but like, he did lose to Keiji, and that could mean the end of his like chances 100%. Basically, that's the end for him.
well,
If
I
you ask
wouldn't.
me.
He's probably didn't shoot for the playoffs anyway, but he can still have a lot of fun with this team.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and he could actually keep them for next season.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing that he will be in lower divisions, probably, he could be a powerhouse actually.
Yeah.
If he gets a lot of levels, so he could actually be next season. We could see him in the playoffs.
Well, I'm certainly rooting for him. Tosca is a great guy.
But he could
That's
be in the
made out of posts.
playoff this season too. Isn't there some random lottery thing for stunted teams, or is it not?
What do you mean?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, last season, but I don't know, that like 1 or 2 of the stunted teams got to the playoffs, even though
Yeah, I think there's the
their
Stunty Cup
results were bad.
where
The stunted game. Okay, that's probably what it is.
I don't know exactly how it works to be honest, but they do have a chance to qualify for the playoffs over the Stunty Cup.
Yeah.
So he could still get into playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, he still can go into playoffs through the league, but his chances aren't looking that great there.
But in my opinion, goblins are the best stunty team, in my opinion. But I don't know. Um, at least for my playstyle, I prefer playing goblins compared to like ogres or halflings or yeah.
Yeah, I
So
just had a look at the Stunty Cup leaderboard for, I think it's week 6 mostly. Some of them have only played 5 in that leaderboard, and there he is currently in 4th position.
okay,
So, not that far off.
yeah,
I guess that back to square one, seeing that he is in 4th position. Could actually even overtake the top spot, seeing as that he won this week, and I believe that Yas and Herringzord lost, so he could overtake the top.
Yeah,
yeah.
and he certainly has the positionals to do so. Just look at them. Disgusting.
Yeah, he's playing against the goblins. He's playing against the goblins this week, right? Yeah. So
Well,
he he has strength 7-3 to match the 2 trolls.
Yeah, and to match the
the Fnatic.
Fnatic, yeah.
Yeah, and the Fnatic, of course. And he is 6 SPP away from a level up. So we could probably, maybe, you never know, see block on him.
Yeah, I really hope we will see the Looney
The,
take his chances at those positionals.
Yeah,
yeah, let's hope that a chainsaw versus a tree works.
or versus movement ward answer. That
Yeah,
movement ward answer, yeah, I don't like that one bit.
he
Priority.
has he has a movement word answer. He has a mighty blow word answer. So this team's really scary.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I would be careful in the match against Toast Guy. I mean, goblins are known to not be afraid of fouling people, so don't let those positionals end up on the ground because they might never stand up again.
Oh yeah, and they also have 3 bribes and where was it? Oh yeah, a wizard going into the game.
oh wow,
So a lightning bolt could fry somebody.
yeah. Or if he's greedy, fireball and just tackle people.
Well, wood elves don't clump up that often, so I probably expect it to be lightning bolt.
Yeah,
Yeah, lightning bolt on a word answer, just for spite, might be the best play of the game.
Just straight up first action of the game.
Yeah, just like
Well,
get
it certainly
they
would
get
be a message to send to your opponent.
they get into the game. They get into the game. The goblins set up, the wood elves set up, whatever, and bang, lightning bolt straight to the wanker, and the wanker basically dies.
Well, or
I
the
think you
lightning bolt
pronounce it
fails and
wrong.
you're sitting there being a little sad and
And then you remember, oh, okay, I just have a chainsaw. Let me put a chainsaw up his hairline.
and then he proceeds to score quickly on you and your bribes don't work and then you're even more sad.
Well, you're basically getting the first action if you lightning bolt anyways. But yeah, something on those lines. He could get some linos, in my opinion. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eh,
Uh, Not right now. If he gets another big payday, maybe then, but for the moment I would keep the 100k in the bank to be able to replace a war dancer if he dies or
Yep, that is true. Uh, But yeah, he is going. He just had a win versus Angels of Lilith, and he is facing the Goblins next. So he has went through every one of the big guys of the division, let's say, and now he's going versus Goblins, and then he's facing the Highland Avengers, and then he is facing. Where is he? Oh, then last week is actually a week versus Kejirus, who is 4-1-1. So let's take a look at what Kejirus has
Well,
to say.
you did just blame me about not having a proper look at his last matchup, so I'm gonna do that to you now. Because if you have a look at the game and then have a quick look at the SPP section, you will be amazed.
What?
Yeah, just look at it. All those SPP. I think Back to
Wow.
Square One
What?
made
What
17,
about?
21,
What about?
31 SPP.
What
31.
about? What about it? I don't see anything odd. These are widows. This is game 1 for them. This is TV 1000 for them. Just 17 SPP right off the bat, first game. That's
I
casual.
see you're not impressed. I am a little disappointed.
I'm not at all impressed. I'm more impressed by Angels actually getting 13 SPP in one game and 3 level ups on vampires. Haha.
But then it still was worth looking at the SPP bar.
Yeah, but like Back to Square One had 5 injuries inflicted, by the way, and he had 140 yards of running. Like, what is that? Yeah, Back to Square One is in a really good spot, and he could actually take over the top of the division. And in his final week, he's facing what is it? The top of the division, Kejirus.
Yeah, that might be a really interesting game coming up, but we're still a bit away.
Yeah, Kejirus still hasn't leveled up his second werewolf, and he still hasn't leveled up his flesh golem or his white. But he does have 3 block zombies. Yay.
Yeah, well, they are all really close to leveling up, so we might see that in the following game. He has.
And he's 1 MVP away from leveling up the werewolf.
I'm curious if he's not gonna get double on the werewolf, if he's just gonna replace him again because he's back up at 150k again.
Perhaps.
What do you mean?
Perhaps that is the plan, to fire him if he doesn't roll doubles.
Yeah, he did it once. I'm sure he won't be shy to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, this team is really. I wouldn't want to face them.
I'm glad I faced them early.
Yeah. And this team is really, really good. I mean, it has so much potential. The werewolf could also get mighty blow. This one could get piling on. The white could just get tackle or a guard, I guess. And another block for a flesh golem, and basically have an immovable wall of flesh with flesh golems and zombies. And then you have the blitzing pieces with werewolves and whites.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like really a lot of potential for this team. And he did win his match versus the Gobbleboners. And yeah, he's 4-1-1. Best in the division.
Well, we will see how long that will last, because the people in this division couldn't hold on to the first place for very long so far. So at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be someone else next week.
Yeah, because this division is really close. It's just a constant nail biter, and well, in his match versus the Goblins, he also got a ton of SPP, so I guess you're going to go crazy as him over it. He actually got, what is this, 15, 17, 19, 21?
So you're impressed by 21, but not by 31.
Not by 31? What? What's 9 plus 10?
He's talking about the Woodrow
20,
team.
it's 21, right?
But the Woodrow team is better.
He has 21, but the Wooders just did 31 SPP, and you weren't impressed at all.
Yeah, because it's not 9 plus 10. 21.
Okay, I can't follow you there.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'll understand.
I understand what you're trying to say, but like, look at the difference between the teams. Who are like Keji is playing Necro while Pyro TJ is playing a pure scoring team, and Keji just got somehow 5 SPP. Wait, is this like 5 SPP?
Yeah, but you don't understand. They both scored 2 touchdowns, so the Wood Elves did injure more players than the Necros, and you're saying you're more impressed by the Necro team.
Yeah, I am, because they're Necro. They aren't as good as Wood Elves still.
But they're better at killing. There are 3 mighty blows and 2 claws.
What? Yeah, they have 3 mighty blow. That's true, and 2
claws.
2 claws, but like one of those claws is basically carrying the ball, trying to get a touchdown, and the other one is facing armor 7.
Well, I would say let's just do it that way. And we're gonna ask our viewers and see who of them is more impressed by the 31 SPP of the Wood Elves and who is more impressed by the 21 SPP of the Necro. And let's leave it at that.
Scored on the 2 touchdowns.
Okay, so last but not least, Anderson.
Before we go over to Anderson, I think we should do a competition. Like, if the viewers are more impressed with the Wood Elves, then Svao has to do something stupid. And if they are more impressed with the Necros, then me and Hindus have to do.
So, what are you thinking of?
No, I have no idea. But it would be fun to put something on the line.
Well, you should be putting linemen on the line, but
Oh my god.
but we won't go over these jokes.
So let's just make it that. If the viewers agree with Swaho, then our guest is going to buy lots of line orcs and put all of them on the line.
Okay. I'm up for that.
He can buy one. He can buy one line orc.
Oh.
Okay, we will make a straw poll after this. We will make a straw poll and we will put it in the description of the video, and basically we'll. Okay, so let's look at Anderson. Anderson, still an impressive team, still a non-impressive score. 114. You said that he managed to do a turn 16 touchdown? And
Yeah.
when did you touchdown?
Like turn 15? No, not 15. Like turn. Wait, no. When did I? Turn 14, I think, actually.
Wow.
Turn 13 or 14. Yeah, I stalled it a really long time until I was not able to stall anymore. And then,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah. That's cool. I mean, 100, like, that's a draw. You had a really good game, I guess, versus the other.
Yeah.
And your blitzer did get the MVP, while his blocker did get the MVP. And, well, his blocker is leveled up and ready to take Mighty Blow, Claw, or Guard. such a wide variety of skills on the Chaos Dwarf blocker.
But they start with so many good skills, so
Yeah, like thick skull.
Yeah, if you ask T, he's gonna tell you that's the best skill in the game. So,
what?
Yeah.
if you ever watch the richest T stream or comment on games, he will always tell you if Thick Skull would have mattered for a block, if it would have been only a stun, if what
Okay.
was in KO. So
You know, if this wood elf had thick skull, he wouldn't be KO'd. No siree. This wood elf alignment that took guard.
So he would prefer to, if he rolls double on a Wood Elf lineman, he would prefer to take thick skull over guard.
well, he probably wouldn't, but he would still tell you if it would have mattered.
Okay.
Yeah, and he would keep track. He would keep track 100%, just so that he knows if second double would be thick skull or if it would be ignored.
So
But
I should put thick skull on all my orcs then.
On all your orc linemen,
But
every
I don't
orc
have any
lineman.
orc linemen.
Yeah. Not yet, you don't.
Okay,
But
so
let's.
Wait, I think we're getting a bit off topic here.
No shit, Sherlock.
no, but okay. Then if I roll double on my goblin, if he levels up, then I will give him thick skull.
Okay,
Is
Okay.
that the thing? Is that a good idea then?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, T will certainly like it.
Armor value 6 goblin with thick skull.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. But let's talk about like how Anderson managed to pull one out of a hat and get a tie, with an agility hobgoblin that has block, and a lot of his players are just so close to leveling up, especially Sunny, who is a Sunny boy and who could get guard, and if he does get that guard, damn is he just a better black orc. Because he starts with thick skull, he doesn't have to take it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's the sole reason for it.
Yeah, but like he's in such a good position with these players and with the team, and it's just too bad that he started off really badly with the score. And seeing his next opponent, he is playing versus Angels of Lilith. So last week he's playing. Last week will be
Against-
versus Angels of Lilith, and this week will
Is
be
against
versus
Kichi.
Keji Bruce, who does have Claw and Mighty Blow, and who was more impressive this week. And then he's playing versus Revenge of Power Up, so he will negate all that Mighty Blow and block that the Chaos team picked up by having armor value 9, right?
Well, and Thick Skull.
Yeah, and thick skull. So basically, he is in 2 matches, like the last 2 matches, he shouldn't probably lose them. The next one could be a loss because he is facing Claw Mighty Blow Wolves. But still, like, he should play for player preservation now and take this team to next season because it's really scary. And hope that Keji doesn't kill absolutely every one of these players because Keji is capable of doing that,
Yeah.
actually.
You are definitely playing for player development and not for the win, I think, at this point. I don't really see a reason why you would go all out for the win. You're not gonna end up on the top of the division. And I think he should just aim for the development, level all his blockers, and then be a pain in the ass for everyone who will have him in his division next season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, he isn't big in the standings, and if we can take a look at the leaderboard, Organized Crisis and Anderson, they solidify they are the bottom of the division by drawing so nobody gets the upper hand over the other one. Even though that could have meant skyrocketing to 7th place for both of them.
To 6th place, to 8th place, because the Vampires do have 2 wins and a draw, and they would only have 2 wins and 4 losses.
No, but if they... Oh, yeah, actually they would, because... Okay, I mean, the 8th place is much better than 10th.
But
That's true.
what is definitely here to say about the leaderboard, this division is really close. There are lots of good coaches there. And Crisis, what? No, you're a great coach too. And
Well,
I'm really not sure anymore about who's gonna be on top next week, because it could even be Radstar's Chaos, it could be Pyroteach's Wood Elves, Herringsword's Camry could win again. It's I don't know what to think about anymore about this division.
I still believe, as I said, for the first recap, which
Somehow got lost in the
yeah,
technical difficulties.
yeah. Then I put a coin on Yacinde to win, and I still believe he will win.
Yeah. The top of the division is completely, let's say, tied. Seeing as, well, Keji and Yas are at the top. And then following them up are Herringzord and Pyro TJ and Rasta. So those guys are really, really looking good, if you ask me. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. Hendis, where did you go?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I just didn't hear anything.
I don't always need to talk. I think I talk enough already. But if you want me to talk, I would go on to the next week's games and let's make some prediction. And
Okay.
how about you go first, Organized Crisis? Who will win, the Gobble Bonus or Back to Square One?
Back to square one. I'm pretty sure of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same for me.
Well, I think then we all agree on who's going to win, but I still hope that the Gobble Bonus will prove us wrong and we'll get a Block Fanatic, because that would be really fun. Then we have the United Scarab Camerats against Weird Witchcraft next, top of the table matchup.
I would believe Yacinde Swede Witchcraft to win it, but still I would not bet money on it. It could go either way, to be honest.
Yeah. The witches could win the game, actually, seeing as that they do have a lot of good players on their team. But Herringzord also has a lot of good players on his team, and he has Tackle ready, and he has Mighty Blow and Piling On. I think this could go to a draw.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Cambrys will be better at dodging than the Dark Elves. The Dark Elves will outbash the Camry, and in the end we will have a draw.
What?
Well, did you see Herringsword play?
He's I didn't see the last match. No,
he's making impossible plays for Camry, and
yeah, that's true.
Somehow he still gets outbashed while doing that.
Yeah, I remember my match against him. It was supposed to be a draw, but he did a 4+ dodge on the last turn to win it. The skeletons know how to dodge. It's annoying.
Yeah, well, next up is Prof. Parasthesia's Pets against the Pampleford Parakeets.
I believe the necromantic will win. Like the Professor Parasthesia's Pets will win. I'm pretty sure of it.
Well, I probably agree with you, but I expect them to pay the golem tax for it. I think one of the flesh golems will get hurt in the
Yeah.
process of winning that game.
Yeah. I'm going with Keji and the pets, basically in the claw mighty blow, kind of provides the wear and tear that is needed to defeat Chaos Dwarfs. So I'm thinking like 1 or 2-0 to Keji.
So we don't believe in the Pamper for parakeets, but there's still another Chaos Dwarf team, the Highland Avengers, and they will face against our guests, Dazzle Rockstars.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I'm gonna win, but I don't think I will win easily. But yeah, I think I'm gonna win or it will be a draw. But I don't know. My team is so shit at the moment, so I could lose as well. But I think I'm gonna be able to win it.
Yeah. Well, I think that you're going to be able to win it as well.
Actually, I have interviewed your players. I'm gonna go with the Highland Avengers.
What? Do you not believe in my bow fondler?
Well, I have some skepticism about his performance. I've talked to your blitzers about him, and I'm gonna go with the Highland Avengers, but we will see how it goes. And the last matchup for this week is the Angels of Lilith against the Revenge of the Power Up.
I'm thinking Revenge of Power Up will take it, seeing as that Angels are going into the game with a broken team.
I'm actually gonna say that it will be a draw.
Ooh.
I think Revenge of Power Up got the upper hand, but I believe that Angels of Lilith might be able to just defend themselves and not concede it.
I'm gonna say it this way. If the Revenge of Power Up have a decent, successful passing rate, they will win it. If they throw the game with some stupid passes again, they won't. So
Yeah.
I'm putting it on the successful passes. If they have more successful passes than failed passes, they will win it. And if not, they'll lose. Because it's still Whams, and Whams can do stupid things if everything goes right.
That's true.
Especially if you give them opportunities to punish you with failed passes.
Yeah. And they're basically like really good elf. They have really good elves on the team, but they do tend to bite.
Yeah, so it's been over an hour again for Division 6C. I think we covered everything. I'll thank our guest, Organized Crisis, very much for being here. If you are more interested in his team, there is an article about his team in the current GMan, so check that out if you haven't already. And again, thank you very much for being here.
The link would probably be below for the current G manual, by the way.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. See you next time,
And
if you're able to come, I guess.
Yeah, I'm able to basically whenever. So if you want to invite me for another weekend, I will gladly join.
well, we will certainly let you know who will be in the right about our little bet. And yeah, good luck with your soccer practice, I think, was it what's coming up?
Yeah.
And
I gotta go in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, then have a nice evening, and
Thank you.
See you next week, at least for watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you.
Okay, that was Division 6C. let's move on to Division 6D.
Okay. Then we don't have to do the intro again.
Yeah, I think we are just gonna do it in one session and keep it
Okay.
at one video again. And every match besides one got played. It's Amazing Man against Team Fantastic didn't get played. It's an admin's call. So
And Amar is actually not here.
okay,
He is expelled.
well, that's too bad.
So that's Team Fantastic win. And yeah, let's just go over Team Fantastic, seeing that they're going to get a lot of SPP.
Yeah, let's have a look. Who would be a good target for an MVP or a touchdown to fall on?
Any one of the Warriors would really like an MVP. And same goes for most of the GOATs. The unleveled GOATs really could also use a good MVP drop. Also, he's on 220 in the bank, so he has a lot of money. So we could see like getting another Beastman and maybe spending his money to get Danger Zone level 2.
Yeah, he might also get the enhancement too if he rolls high on the money. I think he's probably really hoping Flapfart will get at least some SPP because then he will be level 3 and really scary. He's also probably not unhappy about the bye week because that means he will have his 4th Chaos Warrior Mr. Throw back for his next game. So it's always good to have bye weeks when you have players missing.
Yep.
But
basically, Mr. Throw is gonna be back, and he's out for vengeance.
yeah, otherwise, I think there's not too much to say about this team because nothing changed between this week and last week.
Yeah, but that's just because he didn't play the game.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So
I think that he is 401, and he's 501 basically, seeing as that he will get that free win.
yeah, that means he will end up in second place, just one win behind our first place, the Crematorium crew, who are coached by Buford T. Justice. And what do you think? Shall we have a look at them next?
Yeah, they're current number 1. Let's see how Buffer T. Justice is doing. And he has a Mighty Blow and Guard. So he's got a few level ups. He got Dirty Player. And yeah, he is starting to rank up levels as well. Not just wins. And levels do matter as well.
Yeah, and what's, I think, still a sign of a great coach is that he still hasn't sustained a touchdown against him. He's keeping the clean record.
And winning by mostly 1-0. Just enough. No need to overdo it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get exhausted.
Yeah, and the mummies are kind of slow, so they do get exhausted really fast.
Yeah, he's doing it just right, winning the games, getting some development. He has plenty of cash in the bank, lots of players. He is at 13 players already. So I don't expect to change for his coming weeks. He will just keep on doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
And that works pretty well so far.
Absolutely. And, well, I mean, his team doesn't really need much more to say about, but he did beat Flylord's servants, and he did send a Rodder away with an injury. Nothing that stays, but just an injury. And he leveled up a zombie on the MVP.
Well, Probably not your
And
favorite target for the MVP, but a level up is a level up.
he got, what is this, 18 SPP, quite nice. A lot of it on zombies, but that's okay. Um, Getting block and developing your line fodder is also nice. So like that's okay. Even leveling up zombies isn't that bad all the time.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the rates for the Flylord servants, and he did fail 4 out of 5 pickups. So
Ah,
he maybe he was a bit
yeah.
unlucky there, but it is what it is.
And not only that, he lost a Nurgle warrior.
Oh, let's have a look at his team. That's rough.
Yeah. A Nurgle warrior is dead. He does have Mighty Blow and Block on the Pestigors. And the other Pestigor is still sitting at that lonely tackle.
Yeah, we were talking about all the team value he could get after the game. The opposite happened.
Yeah, he got
It's
diced.
That's quite a setback for Nurgle, but it's still only just before the halfway point in the division, and this Nurgle team could still be looking great at the end of it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So, I mean, Nurgle are Nurgle. They're just really. They can rake up and stack up later on, 100%. And the Beast of Nurgle and the Nurgle Warriors are all close to leveling up. We do have Block already, so he did all level up already. He leveled up, and well, the Rotters are just rotting around. Nothing really cool about them.
Well, have you ever looked at Rodders rolling around? They do look pretty cool doing that, but
Yeah, that is true. And I like Nurgle. Nurgle are one of my favorite, uh, probably my favorite team. And I like Nurgle at this stat line. Like, they aren't bad, but they aren't doing terribly well. They're 2-2-2. They're just balanced out. They're
so
balanced out really well.
did you sign up for the World Cup qualifier with a Nurgle team?
I didn't sign up for World Cup qualifiers, at least not the Rebel or Rookie League ones. I signed up in another league because I thought that it would just be us, the usuals of the league, playing around and just having fun. Because we are only able to send one, so we were like, whatever, most of us at least. Uh, while Rebel is quite competitive about that, with the 4 slots available.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go into the rookie league because well, a lot of the players that did sign up are completely new or are semi-seasoned. But yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, fair enough. And I guess we're getting a little bit off topic here again, but it's still good to know what WoW is up to these days. Shall
Yeah,
we
yeah.
move on to our last week's guest, Falkenberg?
Uh, we have another guest. Okay. Yeah,
No,
sure.
I mean last week's guest. We had Falkenberg over, and we are
Oh,
now
yeah,
looking
yeah.
at his team. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, sure. He didn't quite change that up very much.
Yeah, well, he lost a player again. I think he got minus strength on a lineman.
And even worse, he lost the game. He
Yeah,
lost. mm, But what can you do? Norse are Norse. Norse are really one of the better teams early on with all that block. And Michael J. White got block, so that's nice.
yeah, he still got at least some SPP out of the game. 11 SPP isn't the worst. And, well, Kislev are a team that rely on dice going at least somewhat well, and if the dice just don't work, there's not that much you can do early on because you are just lacking those good skills.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I
I'm
mean,
sure he will bounce back. He seems like a swell guy. He knows what he's doing, and
Tony needs a touchdown. Bolo needs a touchdown pass or MVP, whatever. Scott needs a pass. So basically, a lot of linemen could level up, and the blitzers as well are. At least Bruce Lee is really close to a level up. And the catcher, if he does actually make a pass and a touchdown, or just like gets hit by the MVP, he could level up as well. So a lot of level up potential on this team, and a lot of potential with the only Kislev in GMan.
yeah, I'm sure you guys are interested in how it will go for him in the following weeks. But for now, I think there isn't much else left to say.
Yeah, no, he lost to Ain't It Cold in the North. So let's just take a look at the Norse.
The Norse, there they
The
are.
Sea Drake, he was actually put into this division because Goose on the Loose went away, so he inherited the record. And he is 105, but he is actually 102, facing off versus two Chaos teams right at the start. So that's just a quick recap of his team, Ain't It Cold in the North. He has a miss next game, I hope. Yeah, miss next game lineman. But Norse linemen are good as loners, as well as like good in general, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's not the worst. He still has only 2 rerolls and no apothecary. He
And he was
also lost his
10k away from the Apo, by the
yeah.
way.
He's also lost his second berserker, I believe, in the first game he played. So he definitely had a rough start. So the win against the Kislev and the SPP he got doing that are certainly a welcome change for him.
Yeah, Asterix is really close to a level up. Just a touchdown away. Noogie and Bronco both just a pass away. Yeti, the cookie, is actually praying to get an MVP so that he could get Mighty Blow, I guess, or Juggernaut. And the Ulf is also close to level up by just getting a touchdown, if you ask me.
Yeah, but you don't see Ulf scoring that often.
Yeah, that's true.
So he will probably want to get up the apothecary as soon as possible because most of his players are only armor value 7. And yeah, let's see who he's up next against. Or was that the... Who is it? He's up against the Flylord servants, so that will certainly be a tough task.
Yeah, Flylord servants, they are Nurgle, and they are versus a team that has a lot of what would you call a lot of block and claw.
Yeah,
So yeah,
and you certainly would want to face them now when all those Chaos Warriors are still not leveled and one is even missing. So better now than later in the division. So we just had Ain't Cold in North. Let's see, who didn't we cover yet? Shall we move to the Skeletons Incorporated?
yeah, sure. Skeletons Incorporated and their team of skeletons, and other things.
I see quite a lot of Mighty Blow, but I like it. The team is looking pretty good. I think he's in a decent position. He has 2 throwers. He has that great agility up Blitzerer. He has a Mighty Blow Blitzerer, 2 Mighty Blow Tomb Guardians, and a Dirty Player and another Guard Skeleton. I think he's looking good. What do you think?
Yeah, he is good. His skeletons are in, like, their skeletons are okay, and his Blitzeras are looking decent. And I think that he could actually keep racking up the score.
Well, that's what he couldn't do in his last 2 games, because he lost against the Crematorium Crew and the Clawtimor Rams in his last 2 games.
Yeah, that's true. But MVP could lead to Blitzra maybe getting Blodge.
Yeah, that's decent, especially if he has a plus agility. I like this team. I'm interested in where Palmu is going to take this team.
Yeah, I'm also interested in that, but like as well, he has 2 Mighty Blow Tomb Guardians, so these guys are set maybe to even level up faster. And Dirty Player Skeleton, it looks quite nasty, even though he did level up over MVP and stuff.
Yeah, and even Faf, he lost his last 2 games. His overall record is still 2-2-2, so that's still pretty good for Camry. And let's see, who is he up next against? Against the Amazing Man, so it either will be a bye week or maybe a mass spot will be filled by a newcomer.
I think that it's quite late, if you ask me. It's legit the middle of the season.
Yeah, but
So
I think we still have people on the waiting list, so for GMan, so we will see.
Yeah, sure. 100%. I mean, they will get a 0-1-4 score.
Well, if you want to have a little bit fun with a team, I would still sign up, but I'm already signed up, so I can't do it. And I wouldn't want to leave my current team, so
Yeah, I'm still like about if I should keep or not. But let's look at what happened with the other Camry.
oh, let's have the Imperishable 4 next.
So comparing them to the Skelepons, these guys have more Mighty Blow, have Guard, have Dirty Player, and Wrestle, and they have an amazing skill called Kickoff Return.
Yeah, Kickoff Return is an interesting choice. I'm not sure if I would have chosen that for my thrower, but it's his decision. If he's happy with his decision, that's all that needs to be said. Otherwise, his team is also looking pretty good. He has 2 Mighty Blows on Blitzras. He has that great Tomb Guardian Ramses III with Mighty Blow and Guard, but I think he didn't manage to pick up any more SPP. And he has 3 leveled skeletons with Wrestle, Kick, Dirty Player, and Guard. I think all good choices. Yeah, I besides the kickoff return, and the kickoff return isn't bad, don't get me wrong. It's probably just not what I would have chosen.
Yeah. Well, the kickoff return is kind of the skill that most players take on them, seeing as they do have slow. They are kind of slow, if you ask me, for like runners. And leader really wouldn't do much. Also, none of the passing skills could do much. Hail Mary pass, I guess. No, not really. So kickoff return was the way to go. And then next level, who knows? Who knows what he could take? Maybe everything, maybe nothing.
Yeah, I would also say if you don't get a doubles on the third skill up of your thrower, you should consider getting a new one.
Yeah. You're basically betting on hoping that he gets doubles or just goes to the Skeleglue factory.
Yeah, a stat up in any stat would also be nice. So he still has ways to go with his thrower, but if it's a normal for his third level up, I would get a new one. Yeah, he did play against the 187s. He tied against them.
Yeah. So the 187s. Let's take a look at what
He did get the MVP on the Tomb Guardian, so that's pretty good. And now we can move on to the 187s if you want to.
Okay, just take a look.
Okay, shall I be scared?
Just look at the team.
Is there a ghoul with... Is this Nerves of Steel?
Nerves of Steel.
Nerves of Steel.
That's a double. That's a double.
That's a double. Wow.
He had Guard. Or Mighty Blow. And he took Nerves of Steel. As a person that loves ghouls, because of I love playing undead more than necro, it hurts. It hurts to see a rip-off pro elf catcher on an undead team. Actual necro team, but still. But what can you do?
Is Stump Off an agility or a passing skill?
Passing.
Maybe if he rolls another double. It would certainly be at least a fun player. Probably not the most competitive player, but a fun player. And it seems like he lost his piling on zombie. I think he had a piling on zombie, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He lost to piling on zombie.
Well,
oh my god.
That is a sad week for Division 6D. They lost their only piling on zombie.
It would be even better if he lost it by piling on and then getting hurt. That would just be hilarious.
Yeah, but who would foul a piling on zombie?
Somebody who wants to teach them a lesson. But okay, I mean, this seems dead. He has no freaking progression.
Well, he does have a Nerves of Steel ghoul.
He has a Nerves of Steel ghoul. I'm hoping that this is a niggle, to be honest. No, it's not. It's just a miss next game.
I still wouldn't say that the Necro team is dead. It's probably not the most competitive build, but if he's enjoying himself, that's even better for him. And he did at least get a draw against the Imperishable 4, which isn't bad.
Yeah, it's 2-2-2. He's doing actually well considering the skill choices that he made. But like, then you get, and I'm using this as a transition, then you get Berserk, who has Mighty Blow on a 13 SPP werewolf, so basically block or piling on. And you have Nate Dog, who has tackle and block, another good werewolf, even with just normals.
Yeah, not everybody can be catchy and roll doubles every damn time on his werewolves.
Yeah. Kermit the Frog, 3 SPP away. Miss Piggy is a brand new white. And the Ghoul has Sure Hands. So that's a reroll. That's a nice reroll skill on a nice player. The Ghoul.
It seems like you're hitting at something.
No, nothing. Just saying. Just saying. That's a nice skill, and he has a thick skull on the flesh golems. By the way, might just add that. And 1 SPP away from flesh golem level up. Might even commit to passing with him.
Maybe if it's the vanity pass in
Yeah,
uh,
because he doesn't have anything better to do.
yeah, flesh golems are really slow to level up. So if he gets the vanity pass, that's great for him. But again, just if you compare our two necro teams, even if the bash buddies are 70 team value below the 187s, I think I'd rather go up against the 187s than the bash buddies.
Yeah, because the 187 is the whole team value in zombies. And the bash buddies are 3-1-2.
Okay, the bash buddies actually would get a bunch of loner zombies, so they would get more team value, but
But yeah,
I think the point still stands.
it does. And like the bash buddies are actually facing
Well,
Basilieth Blades this week.
and they did face the Kingslayers last week, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't. They got a draw, which isn't bad.
Yeah, that isn't bad at all. Kingslayers putting a draw on their list. So let's see how Spartacus is doing with his team. He actually got a level up on a Skaven lineman, so that could be wrestle or block.
Yeah. I'm probably I don't play Underworld often, to say the least, but I might even consider getting a kick lineman.
The problem with them, the team, is that they have very low amount of general access, a very low amount of general access, and the Skaven linemen aren't actually linemen, even though the name implies that.
Yeah, I see your point, and wrestle might be more useful, but who else are you gonna get the kick on? Maybe a thrower, but
Yeah, the thrower basically block, and maybe kickoff return, something on those lines, because you don't really pass a lot with this team. I say block, kickoff return, and kick, or something like that. Maybe block and then straight into kick, or something on those lines.
because I personally, on a team like Underworld, really like to have the kick available to me. To either get a short kick in or get a deep kick in, it's great to have control over that, especially with a rather fast team like Underworld.
Yeah, that's true. And the troll, the guillotine, is actually 4 SPP away from leveling up. So let's see who he's facing next. It's going to be Kingslayers versus the Imperishable 4. So we might just see the Mighty Blow Claw doing work. Imagine getting 10 SPP just off of 5 casualties, because you have Mighty Blow and Claw.
Yeah, and especially if these injuries would be on Tomb Guardians. It would feel great to play that game, but it will be a tough task. I wouldn't underestimate the Imperishable 4 at all.
Yeah, I really like it. I really like it. Like the team isn't that good, to be honest. They don't have much, but they have dodge, and they have mighty blow tech, and they have mighty blow claw on the
Yeah,
team,
I
and that's
think they
basically
don't have much, but what they have is definitely a good choice and great to have.
yeah. So let's move on to. Should we look at? Well, we basically covered the whole second page.
Yeah, we
So
only have Cyber Knight, Hut, and Krakos left. So, do you want Dark Elves, Chaos, or Bretonnians first?
let's go over the breadth, seeing as that they are better the bruised,
And
and
despite that, they managed to get a convincing win against Krakos with a 3-0.
I was actually PM'd about this game. Apparently he couldn't roll a 2 at any point. And let's see if the dice rolls actually show that. Actually, he rolled 29 once. And his dodging was below average by just a little bit, but still 78%. Basically, like rolling 4 plus dodges with dodge. And his armor, well, he broke armor. No, his armor broke 11 times, right? Yeah. He was kind of battered and bruised, let's say. Catches not. Catches 3 out of 5. Not bad, but not good, to be honest. And, well, he didn't quite 50-50 on going for it. And he did succeed with the lightning bolt. So to be honest, he didn't quite get diced, but he did fail a few dodges that were key.
Yeah, it's you can manage to do all the unnecessary dodges and fail the key ones and end up losing the game off of it. So he certainly didn't get lucky with the dice, and the Cyber Knight probably just abused that as much as he could.
Yeah. Hmm. Let's see.
Well,
I like trains is still on 5 SPP.
yeah, and the
He.
lone alignment stole the MVP, which is
Ah,
that's really annoying because you can't even buy the lineman if you wanted to because you need to save up for all the positionals he's still missing.
and he got tackle on a team that kind of needs that third reroll
Yeah,
because
but he's
he still doesn't have a lot of dodge because his guys did die, and he doesn't have a lot of killing potential, but he took tackle, although I think he went basically through every dodge team already. He played Kingslayers and he played the Dark Elves.
yeah, I probably would have preferred to see sidestep on the blitzer just to
Yeah,
be that much more annoying with his blotch piece. But tackle isn't a bad choice. I wouldn't call it a bad choice. Probably not the optimal choice, but
yeah, but not a bad choice indeed. So yeah, I mean it's a good team. It's a
he's
good it's a
still
good it's a good dead team.
still lots of cash away from getting back to where he started from. So he did get the win. He's now at a 2-1-3 record, which isn't that terrible, but it's also not great. But if he can keep it up, what he showed against the Dark Elves, he could still at least annoy lots of people by stealing away points. But we just talked about the Dark Elves. Shall we have a look at them?
Yeah, sure. The Dark Elves are packing up the blodge, he still hasn't made the pass. And yeah, he told me that he just cannot pass at all with his blitzer,
Well,
which is kind of weird, seeing as that he did get touchdowned on 3 times in a row, so he did have 3 attempts to pass.
yeah, well, but if you're in the middle of a half, you don't necessarily want to risk an unnecessary pass if you're losing already. So if he was still trying to get the draw, I can totally see why he didn't try to go for the pass.
Yeah,
Also, you probably want to use those blitzers on the LAS to get some blocks in and not sit in the back waiting for the ball or trying to pick up the ball. So I can
yeah.
see the reasoning why he didn't try to go for the vanity passes.
He did go for them, I guess, or something, but he failed them, I believe. But like he just does have 0 successful passes with the 15 SPP blitzer. But he does have 2 MVPs with him.
Yeah, but it's too bad.
No,
And
I think this is the 3rd or 4th week in a row that this happened.
yeah, it's always annoying, but I can tell now the one day he will manage to get the vanity pass, he will probably get the MVP too. Because that's always what happens if you can level up one player for God knows how many games and then you finally manage to do it and then he gets the MVP anyway and you're like, man, that could have happened many games earlier. Well, I think this Dargolf team still isn't looking bad.
I mean, the Dark Elf team isn't looking bad. If an MVP falls on the Witch Elf, she levels. If it falls on and other lineman needs a touchdown, and Marthel also lineman needs as well a MVP drop on him. And the funny thing is he has like 2 linemen on 1 SPP, but he can't get 1 SPP on the blitzer. Like fate has made its choice.
Yeah. Well, shall we have a look at our last team?
Yeah.
And I think he's at the moment in second place, but he will be in third place after the bye week. So, oh shit! I see what you're laughing at. That's wow.
That's fucking amazing.
Wow.
Horns and agility 5, and like ignore everything else. Ignore that the Mino just got claw. The key player is the agility 5 dude.
So,
Holy
somebody has to bounty that beast, man. That's disgusting.
I mean, he's not doing anything, to be honest, because he has no real skills. He just has agility 5.
Yeah, but
But
give him a few
saying
more games and he will have blood, sleep, whatever, lots of terrible things you don't want to face. Better get rid of him now.
He has to get blocked first, if you ask me, and then he's dodging through 2 tackle zones on like a normal beastman dodge.
Well, maybe I would also consider going wrestle if you see him as the primary cage diver, as the
Yeah, I mean 100. Well, yeah, he could also take wrestle. I have wrestle leap 1, and he's really good. It's really funny to actually play with that. Nobody expects it to be on the team, and then when you just go into the game, you just see that, and you're like, well, okay then. I'm stepping away from my computer, and I'm pretending that I'm not seeing this, because he just plays out like a strength 4 Kislev Lino would play out.
Yeah, and now you see why I'm saying somebody has to bounty that piece now and kill it before.
Yeah. The rest of the team is kind of lackluster. He did get like claw on the Minotaur. That's
Well,
true.
I wouldn't call it
But
lackluster. I would call it the. I mean, he has 4 block beastmen, which is pretty
yeah,
good, and lots
yeah,
of those are just a bit away from their second level up. So
yeah.
I really like this team, and
I mean,
Hut
I like
is
the
doing
gimmick.
Hut is
I like the
doing
gimmick.
yeah, and Hut is doing really good work with it because he is sitting at a 3-3-0 record.
330. Yeah, he is doing quite well for himself.
Yeah,
100%.
but seriously, that piece really needs to die.
Yeah, that's true. So let's just look at the leaderboard. I mean, these teams don't have much to talk about, to be honest. That was a great like thing. That was a flash in the pan out of nowhere that it came out, and it's fun. It's fun to see stuff like that. So we have the top of the division
Yeah,
is
I think
actually quite it isn't quite set to stone, let's say, but Jimmy is, by the way, Jimmy is 5-0-1. It says 4-1, but he's actually 5-0-1. So Jimmy is 1 win, and Undead are and Buffer T Justice is 1 loss away from swapping positions, possibly.
yeah. So the undeads are chased by 2 angry chaos teams.
Although Jimmy actually has quite a better position than HUD does. HUD is 3-3-0. He does have basically 4 wins when it comes to points. Seeing as that 3 draws is basically like 1 win. But Jimmy has 5 wins under his belt, and he is in a good position.
Yeah, but Hut
And
has this absolutely disgusting piece now. I think that should be at least worth 3 points.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
So
he's worth like what 130, 140,000 gold coins. So yeah, that's a lot.
yeah, but besides those 3 coaches in the top, we have a pretty close middle of the pack
Oh yeah,
with 2
and
Camry
actually,
teams in there, 2 Necromantic teams in there, the Nurgle, even the Prets are still in there, and maybe at 10th place the Dark Elves 2 are still in the middle of the
mhm.
pack. So
Yeah, that is the middle of the pack. But even then, the 3 win dudes actually are all fighting for third place.
yeah, that's true. But again, Hut has that disgusting piece,
Yeah, and
and
I guess that piece could win him the rest of the season and secure him third spot, and maybe even more. Who knows?
yeah. So
It's just
I'm
we'll see.
counting Hut to the top of the table, not to the middle of the pack, simply because he has that disgusting beastman.
Yeah,
But there are certainly still coaches like Berserk and Fernlow who are still in.
in the runnings,
Yeah,
100%. And yeah, I mean, really good, really cool, swell teams, if you ask me. And I would like, I can't wait for them to develop to a point where we can actually talk about them even more. But this is basically most of the things that they get from us. This is the most that we could actually do, if you ask me. So should we go on to predictions?
yeah. Let's make a few predictions about the coming week.
So what do you think about Imperishable 4 versus Kingslayers?
I'm gonna give it to the Imperishable 4. I trust in the Camry's ability to hurt the Kingslayers enough to secure the win.
Yeah, I believe that is probably going to happen. They
But
have
it still could
quite a bit
happen that the Mighty Blow
claw.
Claw just pitch clears the Camry, so
But the Camry do have Mighty Blow, and
yeah,
he is facing armor value 7.
I do see your point and I agree with it. I'm just saying there is that possibility, so I wouldn't count the Kingslayers out by any means.
By no means. Bash Buddies, Aciliaf Blades. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm gonna give it to the Bash Buddies. The coach of the Studios Blaze told us he's still pretty new, and I believe Berserk has lots of experience already, and his team is looking scary.
Yeah. I'm also going to give it, although I really like the Dark Elf coach and seems like a really good guy. I'm going he's really hyped up for the game. I'm going to give it to the Bash Buddies because even the coach of Acilius Blades actually said that he is playing a team that he isn't feeling that comfortable on. So the 187s versus Clodmore Rams. Now we have the other Necros, and I'm not really leaning to the other Necro. I'm leaning more to the Clothmore Rams with their Agility 5 and with their Mighty Blow Claw Minotaur.
Yeah, I would say the 187's coach Mundingo has one mission for the division, and that's to get rid of you know who.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it again, but that piece is absolutely disgusting. So
Yeah. So maybe he could.
I'm not seeing him win, but he certainly will be the favorite in this division, at least
Yeah,
if you talk to the other players, if he gets rid of that piece.
And now, if you ask me, a match to actually look out for: Victims of the Sun versus Hollywood Martial Law.
Yeah, that's two of the teams that are more on the side of the getting beaten upon, and it's both are pretty good coaches, I believe.
Yeah.
I give it a draw. I don't see any player having a major advantage over the other.
Yeah, 100%. Like, probably a draw. And then we get to the free week. So Skelepons Incorporated are getting a free week. And after that, we have Ain't It Cold in the North versus Fly Servants. And I'm trusting that the Fly Servants could utilize the Mighty Blow Pestigore to kick around the armor value 7 Norse and maybe even get a casualty with the Beast.
Yeah, but I'll say the Norse smelt blood. They got a moment into how it feels like to destroy the other team, and they're gonna do all they can to keep that up. And I'll say they have the momentum, and that's why they at least get the draw out of this. I don't see them really winning, but I say it's a draw. Probably not the smartest decision on the facts, but
I don't know. I'm just going to go with Flylord Servants. I believe in Nurgle. Papa Nurgle gonna carry us to victory. And then we have the featured game.
That's definitely the game to watch of this week. It's first place against second place. It's Team Fantastic against the Crematorium Crew.
And this
Bash.
isn't Team Fantastic. This isn't Team Fantastic's final form, if you ask me. They could still get some level ups, and they could still break the Crematorium crew's winning streak, or at least the not getting scored upon streak.
Uh, I, it's a tough call. I'm gonna. If the undead manage not to break in the first half, I think they'll either get the 1-0 or the 0-0.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be my prediction for the game.
Well,
If Jimmy gets the injuries he wants, he
might as well be the winner. Well, in Jimmy we trust, and I'm going with 2-0 victory for Jimmy.
well, Jimmy is quite busy with qualifying for the World Cup, trying to play in the Champs ladder. I'll 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 go with the crematorium crew just for the fact that maybe Jimmy gets a little bit worn out from trying to qualify in the leagues he signed up and all the chaos teams he plays in the champs ladder. I'll go give it to the crematorium crew.
Yeah. Well, those were our predictions, and that was the recap. I really hope that you liked it, and if you have anything to point out, you can leave it in the YouTube comment section, or you can leave it at the Reddit post, because this is probably going on the Reddit link. And you can also just PM one of us during the week and tell us if any amazing plays that you did, anything really cool happened in your games, and we can actually feature it in our next review. My name has been Svaho.
And I'm Hindus, and we hope you'll see you again next week. See ya!
Yeah, see ya.